Wellness Temple. Everyone is welcome and loved here. So if you're joining at home, if you're here in person, just want to say thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. If you see it later on YouTube, you're always welcome to come to Railroad Square, 625-13 Railroad Square, and join us live. We would love that. Awesome. So we're going to start today by doing the Sambujo chant. And we're going to get a little breath work in and meditation afterwards. Welcome.
How are you?
Wonderful, yes.
I'm new to the area, so I'm just kind of looking.
Yeah, make yourself at home. We're having temple service right now, so you're welcome to join if you would like to check it out, and you feel free to look around too.
Absolutely. Do I just need to take a seat?
Yeah, you can. You can sit back on the couch, or you can sit in one of the chairs, whatever makes you more comfortable.
I'm sorry if I interrupted.
That's fine.
Yes, welcome. thank everybody for coming. This means a lot to me, and I'm doing what I'm very passionate about, which is helping and healing people and helping people be guided back to their own personal truth and finding joy and happiness in the life now. So there are ways of thinking and just really simple kind of aha moments when you realize those, you start to make little shifts and changes that really do affect your life on a grand level. And so being aware of those really can give you a real good shot at having some happiness and really finding your soul's path and purpose here in this lifetime. And that's my passion and my joy is to help people reach that. You know, enlightenment is something that's a lifelong process and it continually happens. So that's why we're here today. That's exactly why we're here today, and I want to welcome you. What's your name?
It's Rochelle.
Rochelle?
And yours?
I'm Erin.
And Quinn.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, and we also stream live, so hi to all the YouTube. Yeah, it's right here,
Oh,
so it's just
okay.
on me.
Yeah.
Yes. So next we want to just welcome the Buddhas. So we respectfully welcome Amida Buddha to the temple as we scatter flowers of joy. We respectfully welcome Sakyama Buddha to the temple as we scatter flowers of joy. We respectfully welcome the Buddhas of all times and places to our temple as we scatter flowers of joy. For y'all. All right, so the 6 paramitas I like to go over, and we're gonna start with giving. And let me actually give you guys one too, so you can read along with me. I have several. There you go. It's gonna be on the second page.
Alright.
And so I'll read the left column, which says leader, and then you guys can read along with me for the all.
Okay.
And these are kind of like, not necessarily rules, but kind of principles that we want to kind of, or precepts that we want to be mindful of. So giving. May I be generous and helpful. Guidance. May I be guided by the Buddhist precepts. Tolerance. May I regard the mistakes of others with sympathy. Perseverance. May I do my best in all things. Meditation. May I reflect deeply on my life through the Buddha's teachings. Insight. May I understand the meaning of Nama Amida Butsu. And so for the vows here, we're just going to read the very first one there. Beings are numberless. I vow to save them. Desires are inexhaustible. I vow to end them. Dharma gates are boundless. I vow to enter them. Buddha's way is unsurpassable. I vow to become it. All right. So now we're going to get into some breath work and the meditation. So the breath work that we're going to do is called the infinity breath. And the reason why is it's shaped like a figure 8. So an infinity sign. We're going to start with the bottom loop. And only the first time we're going to do this, but the first time we're just going to push all of our stale air and energy out on that bottom loop, push it all the way out, and then we're going to kind of hold in our center just for a second, whatever's comfortable for you. And then if you just want to envision like colorful cosmic light, a creator energy, as you're making that top loop and you're just drawing that perfection back into you, which you already are, And then we're just gonna hold for a second, and then we're gonna cycle that back through us on the bottom loop. And each time being present with our center, and just keep the breathing flow going. And each person's gonna have their own flow, so don't worry about that. And when everyone's ready, all right. Okay, we're going to go into the body scan meditation. You just keep focusing on your breathing. And now just feel your breathing at your toes. And just be present with your toes. Maybe feel them touching the floor, connecting with the earth. And just feel that breath kind of rising up through your toes and your feet. Maybe you want to wiggle your toes a little. And just move that breath up your legs. Maybe you may feel to wiggle your knees a little bit. And you just feel that energy rising up as your breath comes and you draw that attention up through your body. And now the breath is at your hips. And just feel that energy rising. And be aware of your movement from side to side. Just relaxing your hips and into your lower back. And just feel that energy rising and pull that breath up. And now it's in your chest area. And just be aware of your heart, that great big old heart. And just, if you want to hold that energy there and just feel it expanding in your heart chakra. And then just pull that air and energy up your body more. And now it's in your throat, and you may want to do a little make a little noise or whatever, and just use that vibration in your throat as you pull that energy up. And now it's in your neck and your shoulders. Just feel them relaxing. Keep pulling that breath and energy up, and now it's in our third eye. And just take a nice extra big breath and just feel, you may feel a little tingly going on in your forehead and your third eye. And then on this last breath, we're just going to feel that energy just go all the way up to the crown of our head and just pouring outwardly. How's everyone feeling?
Good.
Yes. Excuse me for 1 second. I'm going to get myself a sip of water. Awesome. All right. So today we are going to be talking about the seventh spoke on the Noble Eightfold Path. So in Buddhism we have the Noble Eightfold Path is represented by a wheel with spokes. And so today we're talking about right mindfulness. And in Buddhism you can refer to the right as being in alignment with or skillful, necessarily than right or wrong. So with right mindfulness, According to the Buddhist analysis of the mind, we're attentive or mindful all the time, right? We're, or at least whenever we're conscious. It takes mindfulness to drive a car, to eat lunch, to talk to someone, to watch TV, to get dressed, or to cook breakfast. We need to be mindful to do these things, otherwise we couldn't accomplish them. But taking a closer look, it will reveal that we really aren't that mindful sometimes, right? We're just a little sometimes robotic about it. But that's okay, because this service today is going to help us be more mindful of the things that we thought we were being mindful of. So our minds are always kind of divided. We're doing one thing, washing our hands, and we're not really ever fully connecting with the actual activity we're doing. Our thoughts are somewhere else, sometimes in the past or the present. So our minds being divided. And so if you even consider, like, when you're cracking an egg, you're cooking breakfast, and you're cracking that egg on the side of the pan. How often do you ever listen for that and then like the enjoyment? There's like a lot of enjoyment in the little tiny parts of the things that we do. And so when we're not mindful, we're kind of just like already on to the next thing. So mindfulness is very important to help us stay in the present. And the more that we stay in the present, the more we're going to be able to be aware of the blessings and the subtle things that are going on around us that are actually lessons and guidance for us in our paths. So in Sanskrit and Pali, words that are translated as mindfulness are samadhi and sati, which are they're words that speak about our memory. And this is remembering to keep. I'm going to change this out real quick. Give me just a second. I'm going to change this out and grab my other notes so that I can see. Apparently that didn't print really well, and I'm not able to follow my own notes very well. But it's okay. I have a fixer for that. There we go. I can read this one. Okay, so with mindfulness being an everyday practice, like no matter what we're doing, if we can try to be more mindful of it, like I just grabbed my phone's in my hands, I'm standing here in front of you guys, I feel my feet on the ground, I feel my breath, like those are the mindfulness that we want to be, like in that moment. So in Buddhism, right, mindfulness is a quality of awareness that involves being attentive to the body, the mind, and the external world around us. So there are, it's kind of broken down to three. There's body being, there's mind being, and then there's eternal world being. So with body being aware of the bodily activities, including the extremities, the bones, and the muscles, like your physical body. You're just like, oh, my body, I feel cold or hot. Well, we actually have muscles, we have, a lot of things going on. And when we can tune into that a bit more, we're able to hear what they're saying to us a lot better. So that's a very important reason why we should be mindful of what's going on within our body. And then there's the mind being aware of mental activities, including thoughts, ideas, and the mental, our conceptions, like different things that we are like, oh, I had this idea, now I'm going to do this with it. But being in that moment is really important. Like, so multitasking is, you might think that that's a great thing, right? But really what we're doing is we're not really fully submerged into one thing at a time. So while there may be times that multitasking might be good to, accomplish a couple things at a time, you really want to submerge yourself fully into the things that you're doing in the moment so that you can get the full benefit of them. And then there's the external world, being aware of sensations and feelings, both pleasant and unpleasant, as they appear and disappear. So mindfulness is the seventh factor of the Noble Eightfold Path, and is considered the foundation of an effective meditation practice. It's also known as sati. Here are some benefits of right mindfulness. So, weakening unwholesome states of mind. So when you're more mindful, you're able to focus a little bit more on what's not making you feel good. You have a thought that's negative, maybe, and it's not making you feel very, very good. When you're more mindful of what's going on, you're able to say, aha, I'm doing this to myself. I'm sitting here thinking these negative thoughts. Now my energy's dropping. I can feel my vibration going lower. But if you're not mindful of what you're doing in the moment, you're not going to catch that. You're not going to pick up on that. You're actually the one that's doing this to yourself because of what you're allowing yourself to think. So when we catch ourselves doing these things, we can say, there's got to be something good in this I can find. So if you can focus on that instead, that's going to be a lot more helpful for you. So right mindfulness can help weaken the power of unwholesome states of mind to dominate thoughts, words, and deeds. And then we've got developing equanimity. Right, mindfulness can help develop a mind of equanimity, which is a mind that is free of reaction and fully engaged in the world, in the phenomenal world, so the things going on around you. Also, we have our sharpening of our observation. Right mindfulness can sharpen a person's power of observation. So when you start to be more mindful, say we're going to wash our hands, instead of I'm just washing my hands touching this metal faucet, I can feel how cold it is. It's very shiny and smooth. I'm hearing the water come on. I'm putting my hands under. When you can start to be more mindful in that way, it's naturally going to kind of get you in that rhythm so that you're more mindful of a lot of other things. So just as simple as when you're washing your hands, you can be helping yourself to kind of counteract being all over the place. And then sharpening of observation, let's see. Right mindfulness can also help sharpen a person's observation. We did talk about that. So inducing a calm. Right mindfulness can induce a deep sense of calm, right? So instead of being all over the place, we're in the moment that we're in. We're doing that. Instead of being pulled by other energies, when we're more mindful, we are less susceptible to be pulled by other people's energies. And not that we won't be aware, because we're going to be more mindful, right? So we're definitely going to be aware of what's going on around us, but we practice to hold that power for ourselves of what will allow our attention to do, and that's going to help the way that our energy fluctuates as well. So I've got a little bright mindfulness. I like to give perspectives of other people as well here, so you'll see that in our services.
Right mindfulness in Buddhism is about being fully present in each moment, aware of your thoughts, feelings, and surroundings without judgment. It teaches us to observe our experiences calmly, rather than getting lost in them. By practicing mindfulness, we develop clarity and inner peace, reducing stress and anxiety. It helps us break free from negative patterns and stay grounded in reality. Mindfulness cultivates self-awareness, allowing us to respond wisely instead of reacting impulsively. It's a path to living with purpose, kindness, and compassion. Through right mindfulness, we connect deeply with ourselves and others, nurturing a balanced mind. It empowers us to live in harmony with the present, not dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. Right mindfulness.
So now I'm going to do a little energy attunement for everyone here. Just real quick, this is a nice little 532, which is good for harmony, balance, good vibes. All right. So although we call mindfulness practices, although we call mindful practice, it doesn't involve it involves the cultivation of this kind of focus. It has other dimensions too, right? Mindfulness is mindfulness developed specifically in the service of the goal of Buddhist practice. So the purpose is to end suffering. So when we can be more mindful of the present moment, we're not dipping into the past and taking what happened there and expecting for it to happen now, and we're not, time traveling into the future, worrying about what we're going to do later. We're in the moment, right? And so that's where the pureness is. Like, it's a brand new, fresh now. And so, it's not tainted by anything except for what it is. And we can accept that. But what a lot of times humans do is we're always painting our brand new artwork with expectations of the past. And so it leads to disappointment. And so that's why we're here today, is we're trying to get to a place where we can be, release ourselves from that suffering. And a lot of times what happens is that, we're causing that by not being mindful, not being in the present, not being in the moment. So Buddhism's Four Noble Truths begin with the recognition that because we die, and we know that we'll die, and that we cannot control that, what happens, human life is unavoidably marked with suffering and anxiety. But the suffering can be ended. The purpose of the Eightfold Path in Buddhism is to end the suffering, right? Mindfulness is correctly directed towards this goal. In the traditional ordering of the Noble Eightfold Path, right mindfulness is listed 7th as a part of the meditation triad. So right effort, right mindfulness, as well as right meditation. Mindfulness and meditation go together. Meditation is mindfulness completely focused on one single object. In his teachings, there is a contemporary Vietnamese Zen master, Thich Nhat Hanh, and he lists meditation or right mindfulness as the third element, because he believes that it's important to consistently be in that state. And some other practices put it at 7. But yes, right mindfulness, as I was talking about, all the way down to washing your hands, should be a part of your daily practice. In Zen practice, we practice mindfulness while sitting, standing, walking, laying down, chopping wood, or carrying water, as the saying goes. So we practice paying attention all day long, not just when we're doing zazen. So zazen in Zen Buddhism is a specific sitting meditation, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in a few minutes. We've got a couple more videos here.
Hello, Buddhism here from Zen Ways. We've been looking at the Buddha's Eightfold Path. So the seventh step of the eight is right mindfulness. So, what do we mean by right mindfulness? So, the Buddha talks about mindfulness under four heads. Mindfulness of the body, mindfulness of sensations, mindfulness of the mind or the consciousness, and then mindfulness of what gets often translated as mind objects or mind elements. So we've got the body and what's going on within the body, the mind and what's going on within the mind. Now, he says that if we pursue or develop or cultivate any one of these four objects of mindfulness, we can potentially walk the whole path. We can find complete liberation. So what do we mean by mindfulness? This mindfulness of one of these or all of these elements. Well, mindfulness, the term in the original is sati, which means remembering. Perhaps a good English parallel term is recollection. When we pay attention and remember to pay attention closely to any one of these elements, we start to recognize that this element changes. Whether we're looking at the mind or the body, it doesn't matter. As we start to directly perceive this element of change, this element of ultimate ungraspability, as this becomes clearer, more and more obvious to us, then because things are ungraspable, we stop grasping, so we let go. When we let go, we find liberation, because we're the ones who are actually locking ourselves up, clenching ourselves down, if you like. So, seeing clearly enough, we start to, as it were, align, attune with this element of flow, of change, of movement, of aliveness, if you like. And so the first stage or level of liberation in the Buddha's scheme of things is called entering the stream. And that's a very lovely and clear way of expressing how we begin to see this universal ungraspability, this universal flow, shift, change, and then align with it. And as we align with it, we have no problems. We come into a basis, if you like, or an alignment with reality in which we are fine and things are just fine as they are. And we can enjoy this rightness whenever we want. Now, this is not like an experience in the sense of, a spiritual high that kind of comes and then it's sort of a memory. It just fades off and it's a memory. This is more like a living reality.
We're having simple service right now, so if y'all want to
how
join.
things are. This really.
No, it's okay, you're good.
So
I interrupted
things
you.
from the experience come and go. That's their very nature. But all experiences have this nature of flow, of shift, of ungraspability, of change. So any shifts that have happened for you, rejoice in them, enjoy them. But if they're experiences, they're going to wear off. They're not it. The it, if you like, that our right mindfulness is geared towards is this change itself. To the point where Zen Master Dogen, one of the important sort of Zen theorists in Japan, says that Buddha nature is change. You know, we have this teaching that all beings have or all beings are Buddha nature. He would say all things have and are change. Same thing. And in this flow of change, in this reality of change, as we settle into this through our right mindfulness, we find our rightness. We come home. We find peace, joy, happiness. We find that we're living the life that we're here to live. And so this step of right mindfulness is tremendously important, of deep, tremendous, transformative value. So, for right mindfulness. Alaridazan here from Zen Ways. We've been looking at the Buddha's Eightfold.
Right mindfulness. We're working more in cultivating concentration and tranquility. Begins to develop. The mind becomes more at ease. We're beginning to find our rhythm. And that is so important. My rhythm is different than yours. We find our rhythm in our voice, for example, and we find our rhythm when we are walking. We find our rhythm, of course, when we're dancing. And we become more efficient. We become more efficient in managing our stress when we begin to do this. This affects our character. Managing our stress more efficiently, simultaneously we're managing our character more efficiently. It's a healthy awareness in our mental world as well as in our physical world. Mental world with how we take care of the various situations in our daily activities, as well as in our meditation practice, in practicing our daily activities with our physical world, of course, nutrition, exercise. We just become more efficient on how we carry ourselves throughout our day, making sure we're getting the proper rest. Because of you becoming more at ease, maybe, just maybe, you or we can look at what I would call our dark side. Just look at it, not going into it yet. Looking at it because our restlessness begins to decrease. And therefore, the traumatization that has happened to us in our life so far, we can just turn around and, okay, I know you there. Well, instead of numbing out or spacing out, we become more present. And that is so important. Attentiveness becomes more at ease. Because of this cultivation, there's a newer level of equanimity begins to arise. A newer level of sensation. The practice of mindfulness, right mindfulness, another word that has almost a similar meaning is multitasking. You're practicing with the breath. Sensation is in the body, in your right knee, for example. And because everything is so connected, for me, I remember something going on in my right knee, and I loosened the tension in my jaw. And I noticed the tension in my right knee decreased. I loosened the tension in my left jaw, left part of my jaw. I noticed the tension in my right knee decrease. It's very interesting in working with a proactive part of the body. Being proactive, meaning that is so intriguing. Understanding that this practice, yes, we have to look at it from a linear perspective, but more importantly, we are moving towards a non-linear experience. And so it's difficult. It's difficult, but at least you're beginning, hopefully, to get the right understanding of what, quote, right mindfulness is. It's not like a couch potato. You're not just sitting around. You are being very active in your system as the breath is moving in, moving out, moving in, moving out. I soften the left side of my body. Moving out, I soften the right side of my body. Or there's some tension there. This goes into working with discomfort, which is the next talk that I would be giving in mindfulness, how to work with discomfort in practicing right mindfulness. Just the idea to meditate, is so important. And because of this, we become more self-assured. It's like doing push-up. We become more strengthened in our practice from having the appropriate and utilizing the appropriate process in practicing right mindfulness.
Namaste. This is
So I want
something
to
that's
share
going to help
something
you a
with you that
lot.
can help you during meditations, breath work,
To bring yourself into the present and invite your higher self in to guide you.
and allow more access to hear your higher self. Om Yogena Tutasha Bodhenu Vajra Padam Travashati Kena Yopagradim Rabadam Bodhidam Patanjaliyam.
You want to try it again?
Sure.
We usually do it a couple of times. It's kind of
Use breath work, mindfulness, just to still your mind by yourself and allow more access to hear your higher self. Yogena Tutasha Bodhenu Vajra Manam Travashadi Kena Yopagradim Rabadam Bodhidam Patanjaliyam.
You made it. Awesome. Welcome. Okay, so if there's anybody that has any specific thing that you know is a blockage for you, something that keeps you off your path, something that's always bothering in your mind, if you want to just have it in your mind right now and let me help you release it. And I'm going to go around and do another little attunement for everyone. And let's help it release from your energy. Be willing to express your gratitude and appreciation to the people that you care about. Tell them regularly that you love them. Thank them for the things that they do for you. Enjoy giving them little gifts that will please them and show them how much you care. So each week pontificate on this for a while today. See how it can help you in your life. Also become part of the family by joining the YouTube channel. As always, like and share so we can share Reiki healing of the mind with others. Namaste. So each week we have one of these in service, and it just gives you something to think about. And I also have a little course that's like a 60-day mindfulness that you just go through each one. But so I share one each week with everyone here to give you just something to kind of focus on throughout the week. And speaking of that, we also do a mindfulness kind of homework assignment. And this week, what I want to share with you is the Zazen meditation we spoke about earlier. So it's a sitting meditation, and this might be something that everyone might want to try this week, and to see if that's something that's going to help you in your practice. So Zazen is a seated meditation practice in Zen Buddhism that involves sitting in a quiet room, just wherever you can be alone and quiet, with your spine and your head erect. So straighten your body out, sit as tall as you can, and then with your legs either fully crossed or half crossed, whatever is comfortable for you. And then you want to breathe. So breathe rhythmically, however you say that, and easy. Just be like real calm with your breath. You can do the infinity breath that we did before. And if you are, I think you're aware of the, yeah, you remember the infinity breath. So that's a good time to use the infinity breath. And then, so with your awareness, being aware and observing anything that's happening around you is something that you want to do. You don't want to just like shut everything out. You still want to be, that little observational scientist about what's going on in the now for you, right? And then you want to be okay to let go. Like just let go, just trust that moment and let go. So suspending your judgment and your thinking, any of your desires, any of your attachments or goals, now's not the time to think about those. However, if they do come up, just gently direct yourself back. I'm just sitting here in this now right now. There's nothing going on, just me and the now, and just chilling and observe the things that are actually presently going on. And then your posture. You want to pull your chin up and stretch your back and your head. Just be real nice and erect and straight. And relaxing your shoulders as best that you can. And then with your eyes, you think your eyes should be like tightly closed. You don't want them to be tightly closed. You want them to just kind of, with just a little sliver open. Just, not real tight, but just like tiny bit. So a little bit of light comes in, but you don't want to tighten your face and stuff. So just really relaxed eyes. You want your gaze to feel like naturally falling towards the ground. So you will, just out of this little tiny bit that you can see, you might be able to see the ground under you. So leaving just a little tiny bit open. And then thoughts, letting thoughts come and go, and don't try to stop them. Like if they come in, observe that it happened, and then just redirect yourself right back. Don't be hard on yourself or whatever. It's definitely not a time for that. So Zazen is considered the foundational method of a practice in Zen Buddhism, and it is said to transform the mind, the heart, and your life. The aim in Zazen is to achieve holistic and non-dualistic perspective, and to embody a non-discriminatory wisdom. So you don't want to be, if a thought comes to you, you don't understand it, don't judge. Maybe after your meditation, write it down. A week from now, it's going to make sense. A month from now, it's going to make sense to you. Don't be like, what was that? Like, that didn't make any sense. Just trust that in time it'll be revealed to you. So the more gentle you are in this moment and more willing to receive what's going on, the more you're going to get from this practice. So at first it may be a little odd for you. It may feel a little weird, but just go with it. And, as far as the eye closed thing, if you prefer to have your eyes completely shut, fine. But just that little bit is just reminding you that you're still here. You're present right where you are. So, but if you prefer to have your eyes completely closed, then do whatever. And you might find a week of doing it, you might be like, oh, I get that little peepee-abby eye. That works for me. Okay, so a couple things that you want to maybe focus on is just make sure when you get in your position that you're going to sit in, just make sure that you're in a position that's going to be comfortable throughout your entire meditation. So if the full leg cross doesn't work for you, make it more relaxed. Do what's going to work best for you. You don't have to look like every other person that you see meditating. You can just, whatever's going to be comfortable. But it is important to keep your spine straight and your neck straight so that you can keep that flow of the energy going without causing any breakages of it by it being slouchy or whatever. You just want that pure flow to come through. So that's the homework for this week, is to try this meditation. And just start with 5 minutes. Just try it for 5 minutes. And 5 minutes, and just set your goal for 5 minutes. And the 5 minutes may turn into 7 minutes. And then on the next day, it may turn into 10 minutes, not even noticing. But at first 5 minutes is going to feel probably like a lot. But by the time the week is up and you're to that same 5 minutes, you probably find that you were there for closer to maybe 15 minutes. So, and afterwards, just take 1 or 2 or 3 lines, write them in a journal about your experience. And don't really worry much about what you wrote right away. But then you can reflect back on it later when you have a little more data about your experience with being more mindful and stopping to connect with yourself in such a way. Some of the different things that we do here at Lotus Flower Wellness Temple that can help you holistically and in your path to reach enlightenment and free yourself from suffering. So we have a lot of different services. Awesome. I just want to say thank you everyone for coming today. You're always welcome, and if you ever can't come and you desire to, you can always catch us on the live, or you can watch it afterwards. And I also make a course, this very same one that I make for this service. If you, that's what that sign-in sheet's for, is I can send it to you and make sure you have them all for reflection. So, yeah. And anything that you've missed prior, any services prior, you can always catch up on those as well. So I've got them all for you. So I'm gonna close out the live with temple service, and if anybody wants to stay behind, we're gonna do a little discussion. Just all of us discuss about any thoughts that you may have or any questions that you may have. All right, thank y'all.
All right.